right. So, do you want me to start this thing off?
Please, sir.
All right.
Please push the microphone up to your beautiful, beautiful
Right
face.
here. Shit. I can put it down my throat.
Well, then you need to project.
Damn,
Deeper.
nigga, suck it. Suck the fucking mic. No, I'm not doing that. I'm like right on top of this bitch right now. I don't know what more you want.
That's right, Devon. Give it. Hell yeah.
Deep throat the motherfucker, Devon.
Man.
Do it like you love me, nigga. Come on.
Oh God. Oh.
All right.
So welcome, congregation.
Hey, that's a good place to start. Welcome to the Top Guys Podcast, a podcast where the person speaking is giving the two other hosts multiple books as gifts, which have all gone unread.
Not all.
The question is,
Most.
you can actually read.
Most, not all.
Yeah, most of them.
Most of them.
Yeah,
But not all. I can't say all.
No, not at all. Not all. Not at all. Not at all. Not all. This week's topic. We're doing two things we wish people knew more about. And as usual, I'm here. I'm Devon Sanders. Along with, say your name.
Oh, Omar Mills. Yeah, sorry. I thought Chris was gonna go. I don't know who he pointing at. I assume he pointed at you.
I'm pointing at the two people I'm looking at on the screen.
Oh, hell.
I'm not pointing at Sade, who's behind me on this camera. I'd love for her to talk to me. Actually, right now, I would love for her to talk to me more than anything. But, yeah. So
Hello, I'm Prince Roger Nelson.
Okay.
I'm Chris.
All right, so let's get into this.
Yeah.
That's Chris
Oh.
Scott, by the way. Doesn't know how to say his name, along with
I
not
don't.
being able to read. So let's get into it. Two things that we wish people knew about. We're talking about anything. It could be movies, it could be books, which they haven't read, music, comics, any kind of medium. So who would like to begin?
I nominate Devon Sanders.
Yeah, you go first, sir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
please.
I got one for you.
Yeah.
And I even have visuals.
Oh,
There is a comic book series. It's no longer being published. But I could see how it could absolutely come back someday. It is written by Kieran Gillen, formerly of Star Wars Darth Vader fame. Wrote X-Men for a good long while. And had a great indie comic from Image called The Wicked and the Divine. He did a creator-owned series with arguably the best comic book artist going right now out there. And this is kind of where that artist made his bones. I'm talking about Dan Mora. The book is called Once and Future. The premise of it is it's a really good one. Dan Mora, let me speak a little bit more on him. He is honestly, in my opinion, the best working monthly artist out there right now. I don't know how he does it, but this man draws up to 2 books a month flawlessly, and one of them is Justice League, where at any given time he has to draw a team that could have 8 to 12 members doing things at one time, along with Superman. And somehow during that, he even took on Transformers for a 6-issue arc. So I have no idea how this man is a master of time management. That's all I know.
Alchemy.
But yeah, alchemy. But if you want to know where he kind of made his bones and how he got so good, I highly recommend that you pick up Once and Future, where the premise is when I'm reading from the back of the book, when a group of nationalists, and this is in Great Britain, uncovered the fabled scabbard of Excalibur, they used the magic to bring King Arthur back from the dead and fulfill a dark prophecy. But as the floodgates opened, only retired monster hunter Bridget McGuire knows how to stop these mythic forces, pulling her unsuspecting grandson Duncan into a world he thought only existed in stories. The two embark on a quest that will force them to navigate the complicated history of the McGuire family and confront the deadly secrets of Britain's past that threatens its very future. So, long story short, it is basically a meditation on nationalism, folklore, and just being awesome monster hunters. It basically takes all the things that you were kind of forced to read in humanities class, such as like the King Arthur tales, Grendel, things like that, and basically brings it into one umbrella and says, what if there was a bloodline that had to hunt these monsters, but the monsters said, "Mm, in order to like stop us from being hunted, why don't we hunt the hunters?" And it's just really good stuff. Dan Moore is just killing it on art. I believe it was a 30 issue series.
It
And
is.
it came to an end. 30? Yeah. And it came to an end about, I want to say about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. And that's when DC Comics scooped him up to initially begin drawing Detective Comics. And now he is literally their go-to guy. And just recently wrapped up a stint on Transformers, like I said before, and was chosen by DC Comics to draw the Batman Deadpool part of their DC Marvel crossover overs, I should say. So yeah, I cannot recommend that highly enough. It's a tight 30 issues. If you sit down and you read like the omnibus, it breezes by really quickly. And at the end, it really does this thing that I absolutely love, where once you close the book, you instantly miss the world that you were
Wow.
in those pages. So that's my first choice. Once and Future by Kieran Gillen. Excellent writing. And Dan Moore, artist who is just killing it.
I love it.
All right.
I can co-sign this. I have all 5 volumes. It is tremendous.
It is. It is.
Once in
Dan
Future.
Moore makes it look easy.
Yeah, absolutely does. Like it's brilliant fantasy. Just it's exactly, if you're a fan of fantasy, sorcery, literature, it is the book that you actually really want to be reading.
I would ask you to get it for me, but then
You wouldn't
I'm not going to read it. So I'm just gonna get it myself. That way I'll read it. Listen, I said it before you could. You were thinking it, and I said, let me say it first so I don't get trolled.
Yeah.
Because it does sound amazing.
Yeah.
Omar gonna be on his deathbed and be like, "Oh damn, hand me that Once a Future."
See, I read it. Oh, right.
Yeah. Oh, and also I would be remiss if I didn't mention the colorist Tamara Bonvillain. She is just killing it in this book. Just the color palette kind of reminds me of the original color palette from The Killing Joke. A lot of greens, a lot of oranges, a lot of reds, but not bright, super Jolly Rancher red. No, it's these beautiful muted colors, and she just kills it. And she followed him along to Dan Moore on Batman Superman World's Finest which he did like a 3-year run on, and is currently his colorist on Justice League Unlimited. So yeah, so again, once in future. So who
All
wants
right.
to go up next?
I will go.
All right.
All right. Uh, my choice for a thing that I wish more people knew about is a movie from the 80s. It's called Yes, Madam. It is actually the second film in the, yes, sir. It is actually the second film in the Line of Duty series of girls with guns movies in Hong Kong cinema, but it's the one that really popped off. I'll tell you why. It stars Michelle Yeoh in her first leading role, and it features the debut of one Cynthia Rothrock.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, it is the girl power beat ass movie. It's so good. It's so good. Every man in the movie is either inept or morally bankrupt. There's no in between. Every man in the movie is terrible. And it is only the steadfast dedication to justice from these two women that gets us through to the end of the movie.
Feels like it was ahead of its time.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly is so good, and the 4K restoration that I got of it honestly, it might look too pretty because there are certain shots where it's like, this was never meant to be seen at like 1080p.
Right.
You can see the seams on things, like the armored car in quotations gets like dented. It's like, that's not but no, man, every time they're on screen, Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock like command your attention. Like, it's not only the fact that they beat ass through like 60% of the movie, it's also just their screen presence, their gravitas, their like the way they bounce off each other is also awesome. So like the movie is awesome to just put on, for like a pizza and weed night, but it's also like really good. It's like an enjoyable film. And the rest of the series, and this is no insult to Cynthia Khan, who basically puts the whole franchise on her back. She takes over for like the next 5 movies. But they basically spend the rest of their time trying to recapture the lightning that they caught with Michelle Yeoh and Cynthia Rothrock in the first one. But yeah, that's Yes, Madam, aka In the Line of Duty 2. I highly recommend it. You can, yeah, I would say if you really enjoyed, I was about to say Every Which Way But Loose. That is not the name of that movie. Left Turn Guide, like no, freaking Everything Everywhere, all
Yeah,
at
everything
once.
all at once. Okay.
Yeah,
It's that?
if you
Okay.
enjoyed that,
Yeah.
it is highly encouraged that you go back to Yes, Madam, because you can see the through lines like in like the choreography. There's probably like a couple callbacks in that movie that I miss because I'm only 40. But like you can see like the trajectory from Yes, Madam to like Super Cop to like Crouching Tiger to get to Everywhere Everything All at Once, and it's just a beautiful thing to witness, and I'm glad that I own it. Highly recommend it.
You
Nice.
had me at Cynthia Rothrock and Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
You had me right there. You had me at
It's
hello.
sick.
Yeah.
Can you tell us who directed it?
I can if I pull it up on Wikipedia. I'm be honest with you, I did not pay attention to who was directing it, but I can tell you that Sammo Hung produced it.
Oh, okay.
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 Yeah.
It was directed by Corey Yun. Never mind. That's why it's awesome, because
Yeah, it is.
Corey Yun so many. Like, what would we have? He directed Fist of Fury.
Mhm.
He was the action director on Lethal Weapon 4. Ugh.
Did not know that. Huh.
But he was responsible for Romeo Must Die, Kiss the Dragon, The One, Cradle of the Grave, like all those kind of like hip hop meets Hong Kong movies in the early 2000s. Like he had his hands all over
All
that.
right, that makes sense then.
Okay. Hmm.
All right,
All right.
so that was
Yeah.
Yes, Madam.
Indeed.
All right. So as you all have been going, thank you for letting me go last because I was like, okay, what am I going to come up with? You know,
Your
and
podcast, you ain't come prepared,
I did not.
sir.
I did not. I'm doing good, man. To have found like after now that I've moved, I'm doing good to have found like if I didn't prepare, if I didn't get up early to get set up, I don't know that we'd have made it today. I'd have been like, fellas, I know I said
Like, I
today,
wish people
but
knew about Lucky Charms.
that's you're absolutely right. The thought that's been going through my mind is like, am I going to say something that I wish more people knew about that they actually know about that I just don't think they know about? So is it all right if I give y'all a couple of answers? I
Sure.
want to give you like, okay, so there's one that I'm thinking is going to be a deeper cut that you have to be kind of in the mix to know about. And there's another one that I'm like, all right, I kind of want to say this one. The first one I'm going to give you is a cartoon that came out we were talking about the 80s toy line, you know, hey, let's sell some toys, cartoons. This is arguably my favorite of those cartoons.
If you say Spiral Zone, I swear to God.
No. I'm not going to have you come get me. I don't run fast no more. It's the Visionaries.
Oh,
The Visionaries, man, it holds up.
Okay.
Some of the best voice acting I've ever seen. They only did 13 episodes, and I would say this: the Visionaries had more influence on my creative worlds than even He-Man did. And it's the podcast that I did, the Thamro podcast. The character that I voiced, that the wizard villain, was based very largely on, and it's killing me that I can't remember the actor's name, because he's amazing. In fact, he's been on more things that I wasn't even aware of. He did the voice of Merklin, the wizard, which is interesting because I didn't know until sometime later. I believe he's black, which I didn't like. I think it was some years that I was like, oh my gosh, he's a black man. I believe. There's two voice actors that have inspired me the most. He was one, the guy who did the voice for Merklin.
Roscoe Lee Brown.
Roscoe Lee Brown, yes.
Also the
Oh,
Velvet
Yeah,
King.
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. There's another one that did a voice for a video game called Baldur's Gate 2 that came out on PC. He did a voice of a character named John Irenicus. Come to find out that, Devon, you'll know this as a Star Trek Next Generation fan. The dude who was the Cardassian in the There Are Four Lights episode,
Oh,
the dude who was the one torturing Picard, did the voice of John Irenicus. And I was like, this is the greatest villain voice I've ever heard, apart from Merklin. Come to find out that it's an actor who was in Star. I'm like, that's where I know you from. I can't think of his name, but amazing. Anyway, Visionary, 13 episodes. They had this thing where you had totems, which you never really saw after that. You would have the whole premise, for those of you who have no idea what this is, the world suddenly, the world they were in had three suns. And the three suns aligned. They had three suns in their world. So it's this fantasy world that has three suns, but a lot of it is like this highly technological, advanced society has three suns. And all of a sudden, the three suns decide that they're going to get in a row. And they align, and then all of technology shuts down.
Super
And so-
cancer.
Yeah, it throws their world from this highly technological, advanced society back into the Dark Ages. And all of a sudden, these factions arise, the Spectral Knights and the Darkling Lords. And you've got some of the best voice acting that I think I've ever seen amongst these characters. Go ahead. Yeah, what's up,
I
Devon?
think we're talking about David Warner.
Is that
No,
the actor for
Ra's al Ghul?
the yeah?
Ra's al Ghul. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay, that's
Yep.
a deep. No wonder I love this dude so much.
Mm.
Amazing, just actor, voice actor and so forth. All right. So the premise is you have these heroes and these villains who, all of a sudden this wizard shows up and he's like, all right, now that we in this dark age, area, I got this shrine, and if y'all make it to my shrine, I'll give you powers. And people think that it's ridiculous, but then the Spectral Knights are like, oh man, I'm gonna see about these powers. And that makes the villains like, well, we can't be the only ones that ain't got no powers. If they getting powers, we're gonna get powers too. And so they all make their way to this shrine, and they get there, and for whatever reason, dudes are running around with these staffs. Obviously, they became part of their power set, but you don't know that. And so I've always kind of, again, the next time we do, I have questions episode. One of the questions I would have is, how you know you was gonna get powers in the staff you was carrying? There's a lot to carry,
Right.
en route to the shrine, but I'm gonna put that aside. They get there, Merklin is like, all right, y'all made it. I'm gonna give you powers, but also those of you who have staffs, go ahead and dip them in the pool, and you will also get power for your staff. But once you use it, you gotta come back, and that's how I'm gonna have y'all doing favors for me, because you're gonna want to come back and get more power for your staff, because once you use it, it's gone.
Dip your stick in this water.
Dip your stick in the water, right? The dudes who ain't have no staff are like, what about us? We ain't got no staffs. He was like, you will learn in time that you also have great power.
Hold the freaking.
And so it turns out that the dudes who didn't have staffs could power vehicles that had been dormant since the suns aligned. So they became real important, as well. I absolutely love this cartoon. It is free on YouTube if you want to watch it. But I bought the Blu-ray, even though it's free, because I wanted to own it.
Blu-ray?
There's a Blu-ray for the full run of The Visionaries that you can get on Amazon. It is,
For the
I loved it.
17 people who remember the video. Damn.
Yes, you too can watch it for free, or if you want to throw your money away as I did, you can also get the Blu-ray as well. The Visionaries.
Damn.
Visionaries.
That song went off.
All right. That's Omar with the Visionaries. All right. So I guess that brings it back to me.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We have two. And
God
I'm
damn
going to
it.
I'm going to make them super quick and kind of combine them. One is, even though they have absolutely nothing to do with each other, at the time of recording, and we always say this, there's a lot going on. Right?
So much.
Every time there is a lot going on right now. And I think that we're all just kind of trying to find our own little bits of peace wherever we can possibly find them. About 4 months ago, I found mine totally by accident. I had my Spotify on shuffle. And it just sort of took me to this very relaxing album, and I was not expecting it. So much so that I even went out and bought the thing, and I am now a new fan of this band.
30 Seconds to Mars?
Huh? No.
I said-
Oh,
Sorry.
it is a group out of Canada. It's a group out of Canada called Men I Trust. And dude, let me tell you, they do some of the most relaxing music. This music sounds like it floats on clouds to get to you. The lead singer, her voice is just so relaxing and so calming. The music is upbeat, sort of almost in a rock meets Sade place. And the only thing I can tell you is that when I put the album on the first time, I didn't make it through the whole thing because it was a rough day, and I put the album on and I flipped it to side 2 and didn't hear the second part because I fell asleep on it. Because not because it was bad,
It was that relaxing.
it was that relaxing. And in subsequent listens where I've been wide awake, it's just got its claws even deeper into me. And if you had to start someplace, I would say that this is their 4th album. It's Men I Trust, that's the name of the band, and the album is called Uncle Jazz. And I can't recommend this thing enough. I'm holding it up to these two, even though you can't see it. It's kind of got like it looks like a child drew the cover, but don't let that deter you. It's what's on the inside that actually absolutely counts. So that is my second pick, Uncle Jazz by Men I Trust, a band out of Canada, Quebec.
Indie
and then-
band, or are they like out there?
They're an
Like,
indie band. They
Okay.
actually self-produce and distribute all of their own material. Like they I guess they don't want to work with a big,
that's the
corporate
most. Yeah, these
thing.
days, and I ain't
Yeah.
mad at them.
but
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, go out there and support an indie band. Again, Men I Trust, Uncle Jazz. That's ONCLE, Jazz.
Uncle.
Uncle. And then my quick third pick, and I don't think a lot of people know this. Tubi. My God, Tubi recently went into a partnership with Warner Brothers, and they got so much of the Hanna-Barbera / Ruby Spears / MGM / Cartoon Network library, and it is sitting on there for free. Full episodes, full seasons, and it has a more comprehensive list of Looney Tunes cartoons on there. I think it's up to like 500 or 600 right now that you can go onto Tubi and stream for free. Like 600. That's more than what they even have on HBO Max right now, because HBO Max seems to have just abandoned their cartoons. But if you are a fan of 80s, 60s, 70s, even 50s, I think that they have the Flintstones on there. They even have Pirates of Darkwater on there.
Damn.
Yeah. Pirates of Darkwater is on there. Powerpuff Girls is there.
You saying Warner Brothers owns Tubi?
No, they
It's
don't.
a partnership.
Shockingly, Fox does. But they're licensing their catalog to Tubi to stream right now. Because I guess
Interesting.
HBO doesn't want to do it.
I got to figure out like who's getting the bag on that. How does that happen for
Well,
free?
actually, you get more money from licensing nowadays
Huh.
than you do actually from just putting it on your streaming service and just letting it run. So yeah, and also a lot of these the episodes of things that I've named, they've been cleaned up, and they look really good. Like you can go there. There's full seasons of Mask on there. That's not
They
a
got SWAT cats.
I don't know about SWAT cats.
God damn.
But yeah, Teen Titans, Powerpuff Girls, what was that show? Dexter's Laboratory is on there. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is on there.
But SWAT cats.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
what it's SWATcast. We need
Well,
that
yeah.
on there. Yeah.
if you just need to just let go for a little while and just not be in this reality, just fire up Tubi, look up some cartoons, maybe even watch a little Ultraman, which I've done. That's also on there. So yeah, that's my recommendation. Letting go and letting Tubi.
That's your tell-all memoir. Let go and let to.
Tubi. Fair enough.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, okay, got it. Yep.
Yes.
Go Both these men looked right at me. It's like, hey man, you want to speak? All right. So the thing that I'm going to talk about, I actually, I have a little bit of history with in the weirdest way. So picture it: high school, 2002. I am handed like a bootleg rip of Japanese movie about samurai and demons and magic and shit. It's called Legend of the Eight Samurai.
Hmm.
It
That's
is the grainiest bootleg that I've ever seen, and I cannot make out a lot of things in it. But the music goes off, and the action scenes seem like they're pretty killer. But the subtitles were not strong, and I did not understand what was going on. I was also very much 16 and not in the space to really just accept a foreign film that was not also drawn and had like a bunch of action every 2 minutes. I wasn't there. So skip ahead 2 decades basically, and we get to now. I pick up this, it's a common thread between my recommendations of 4K restoration. Legend of Eight Samurai, beautiful remaster. You can see all the colors on everything. Actually, again, it might be a little bit too clean because I can see all the lace fronts on every wig that everybody's wearing. It's like, oh no, they did not account for HD. Oh damn. But the reason I want more people to get on board with Legend of the Eight Samurai, which in itself is an adaptation of like a foundational Japanese literature epic called the Hakkenden, which is about like a princess comes around and she has to depend on the help of 8 reincarnated samurai warriors that have always helped her clan. It's real, magic, Legend of Zelda type shit. The reason I want everybody to check out the 1982 movie is because it is a murderer's row of goats. The love interest for said princess is one Hiroyuki Sanada, goat, before he even understood the goat powers that he had. Old boy from what's Shogun, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sonny Chiba
Oh,
is the mentor for the whole group. Goat. And then I would be remiss to not talk about Kenji Oba, who is also among the 8 reincarnated warriors. He recently passed away like earlier this week. He is most known for being Space Sheriff Gavin in Japanese tokusatsu stuff. He is the inaugural character that kicked off sort of the third subgenre of Toei's tokusatsu kind of empire. He was they had like all silver outfit, kind of a precursor to RoboCop's design. Like in between Space Sheriff Gavin and Judge Dredd visually is RoboCop. And like he probably had no small influence on the design of RoboCop, to such an extent that when RoboCop dropped and RoboCop was as big as it was, the influence came back to Japan, and then the Metal Hero franchise essentially became, how can we copy RoboCop in a weekly series format forever? Like still, like it's just, hey, how can we get RoboCop to these kids? But anyway, back to Legend of Eight Samurai. The movie goes off. Like every set is beautiful. Every costume is immaculate. The music is bomb. Like there's a theme song called White Light by this white guy John O'Banion that they leaned on. It's like, hey man, can you just throw down some synth and some guitar and give us like fire? And he came back with a banger. I will send it to you later, and you will be like, wow, this is the greatest song that I've never heard in my life. The girl that plays the princess, like, you would think that being surrounded by all of these capable goat thespians, like, she might get swallowed up in it, like, but no, she like holds her own. Like, she's very believable as like this princess who is in over her head, but still manages to like run this whole unit. It's like, hey, you are my vassals, go get evil, do it, do work. And it's excellent. I wish I could say more about it, but yeah, it's excellent. Let's see who directed it. Because it was put out by Toei. Kinji Fukasaku. Where would we know him from? Oh, damn, he did. Okay, so that song from Kill Bill, like the famous song from Kill Bill, Battle Without Honor and Humanity, right? That title comes from a series of gritty Yakuza movies in the 70s that were like foundational, like Japanese cinema type stuff. This guy did all of those.
Oh wow! So you're talking about like a whole soundtrack of like that main song.
No,
Kill
like,
Bill.
he did the movies that.
Oh, he did the movie. Okay, they did that. Oh, that was based on. Okay.
Yeah. Damn. Oh, come on, Cinema Verite. Okay. Okay. Damn. Oh yeah, he's super dead. It's like, oh, wait, maybe he's still out. No, 2003. No.
This man
has long left us. God bless him. But yeah, no, man. Legend of the Eight Samurai goes off. Every one of the reincarnated samurai warriors that comes to the princess's aid is played by like a badass actor, and they each get their time in the spotlight until like they get to the end, and it's like all 8 versus the big evil fortress, and that whole sequence is fantastic. Highly recommend.
All right, remind
That's
people
what's up.
what it was.
Legend of the Eight Samurai.
All right.
I like it. All right, you got me thinking about indie bands, but there's I want to like my second one's going to be a movie called 3 O'Clock High.
Oh,
Which I'm like, you may know about it, you may not, but the Devon, you had me thinking about indie bands as well. So I want to shout out a band that I fell in love with, discovered them by pure accident, called the Dream Eaters. Amazing. Yeah, I told you about them. Amazing indie band. But that's just when you all get an opportunity, if you want some amazing music that is really just also hilarious in terms of the things they sing about, the Dream Eaters are amazing. And they don't miss. Like, everything is like a banger. Like, even their old stuff where you kind of hear them finding their way, they're amazing. But I want to talk about 3 O'Clock High, which was a movie that I remember because it came out in, I want to say like 88, 87, 88 time frame. And I remember sitting in the theater watching something else, and the trailer came up for 3 O'Clock High. And I was like, oh, that looks cool, but never went, by the time I wanted to go see it, it was gone. So jump forward a few months, maybe a year and a half, 18 months later, and everybody, all of a sudden, like, cable was a thing. We went from having 2-3 channels to now everybody's got a cable box in their house. And all of a sudden you could get HBO. You'd heard about HBO, but you didn't have it. And I watched and learned a lot about a lot of movies. And Devon, you would remember this, that window where HBO would run the same movie all day long, and you might flip to HBO and you might catch the middle of the flick. And you say, okay, I want to watch this. I'll watch from the middle. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to watch from the middle to the end. And then the next time you come in, you're like, oh, it's starting. Let me actually watch the part I didn't see.
Yep.
And so this is how I got introduced to 3 O'Clock High. And because there was nothing else really on, even with cable, you still only had like 10 channels. Like I remember when Married with Children like debuted and things like stuff now that you would go and, it's national treasures. Like I remember when they started. I remember when The Simpsons was a thing on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I wonder if this will catch on, right? And like most people don't even know who Tracy Ullman is, but The Simpsons was launched on her platform. Anyway, 3 O'Clock High was one of those HBO, I happened to catch it movies. That and like Better Off Dead, things, John Cusack like time frame. The premise of 3 O'Clock High is you've got this kid in high school, it's a high school flick. You got this kid in high school named Jerry Mitchell. Funny enough, the actor that plays Jerry Mitchell is I can't pronounce his last name, Simasco, Casey Simasco. He plays the dude in Superman that had the kid that he saved. So the dude that was causing Superman who could like make the kryptonite is the same dude. Yeah. That dude was this dude. Yeah, the actor who played him is the main actor from 3 O'Clock High. Who plays Jerry Mitchell. It's the same cat. And I'm because me sitting there watching Superman, it's like, it's Jerry Mitchell. First thought I had. And so the premise is this kid, Jerry Mitchell, he's like any other thing, 80s, high school, he's everyman because they need you to be able to connect with the main character. He shows up, and the way that they shoot it, if you've ever seen the way that Simon Pegg does, like, or the director for Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead, those quick jump cuts. 3 O'Clock High had a lot of that directorial, treatment in the same way that that some like Hot Fuzz would be, how that was shot. He comes to school and he's part of like the student newspaper, and the buzz around the school is that this kid who's been bounced around a lot of schools, who's named Buddy Revell, is having his first day at their high school. And Buddy has this reputation of being this badass where he's like, he's kind of this myth where like you don't know about him, but the way that they wrote the scenes, the characters in the film put him over by telling you about his legend. He once beat up 12 people, in a closet, and he did this and he did that. And so they assigned Jerry Mitchell with an assignment, an article assignment for the student newspaper to interview this kid, Buddy Revell. And Jerry is terrified. He's like, man, I ain't trying to talk to that dude. They were like, nah, man, you just ask him if he wants to, talk, because people want to get to know him. And sees him in the men's room and at the stall. And he walks up to him while my man is at the urinal and asks him if he wants to do this article. And Buddy looking at him like, he says to him in the bathroom, he's like, are you a narc? Because that's something that we said in the 80s. He's like, no, I'm not a narc. I'm not, I just wanted to know if you wanted to talk about you. But he's like, man, I don't talk about my past, man. I just got to this school. So Jerry was like, my bad, man. I'm not even really trying to, get at you like that. And he touches him on the shoulder, kind of pats him on the shoulder to say, I'm sorry, man, we're good. And what's wild is the way that they shot it, you see his hand land on his shoulder and start to slide down. They slow-moed it. And you see Buddy kind of look down at it as the hand is sliding down. And then he just jacks him up against the wall and says, I don't like to be touched. And he says, look, me and you are going to have a fight at 3 o'clock in the park because I got to work this anger off. We're going to have a fight in the parking lot at 3 o'clock. And he's like, look, you try to run, I'm going to be under your bed. We're going to fight. And then the whole flick is how Jerry's trying to get out of the fight, and how he just makes it progressively worse as he tries to do this. Of course, ends up having to have the fight. And it's the way, the thing that leaps out to me the most, a line I will never forget, because he spent an hour and a half trying to get out of this thing. And he ends up paying Buddy off to avoid the fight. Like he did some things. Like I think he ends up stealing money from the student store to pay him not to beat him up. And Buddy takes the money and he's like putting it in his pocket and he's looking at Jerry and he says, "Okay, all right, man, you live. You know, I'm not going to," he's like, "You're not going to beat my ass?" He's like, "No, I'm not going to beat your ass." But he looks at him and he says, "But I got to tell you, man, you're the biggest puss I've ever known." He goes, "You didn't even try." And he walks off. And Jerry's sitting there with that. And then he finds, like, you know, his balls drop. And then he goes out and he's like, and then they have the fight. But I'll never forget when he looks at him and he says, "You didn't even try." It resonated with me in such a way that I realized that not trying is the only way to fail. You know, it's a, like, because he tried, and it ain't like they fought and Buddy beat the ass of many people in that fight scene. And Jerry doesn't so much win as he survives, but he earns Buddy's respect, you know, in it. And it's a, you kind of see him, it's like I like to say, it's a, anything that we pursue in life becomes less about the outcome of the destination and more about the process of who you become as you pursue the thing. Because everything we do becomes something that you did. All right. So the people who enjoy the thing you made enjoy it long after you're gone. You know, we've been talking about voice actors and people who aren't with us anymore, and we still enjoy what they do. But I think about, like, I wonder who they became as they created these wonderful things for us. So it resonates with me, like him trying and kind of sort of succeeding, earn the respect of the person who wanted to beat his ass, you know, for the bulk of the film. And so it's one of those things where it's an entertaining film, but they interweave some life lessons in there for you as well. So 3 O'Clock High, highly recommend.
Okay.
All right. Well, I love the way you presented that.
Dude, man, I pulled it out of thin air because I was like, "What am I going to talk about?" I don't know. I was like, think, Omar. Because I'm thinking of stuff that I'm like, no, everybody knows about that. Like I almost went with the question, the Cowan and O'Neill. And Devon, you know how much I love the question, but I'm like, everybody knows the question. It's not like, yeah.
It is, man.
That iteration of the question, they may not.
Right.
Yeah. The question, those, I think it was a run of about 40 books.
Yeah.
Yeah, enough for 2 omnibus.
Yeah.
Is it omnibuses? Is that the plural of omnibus?
Omnibuy.
Omnibuy. Yeah.
Got to about 50 issues, somewhere about there.
Because they brought it back. Yeah, briefly. That changed the way I thought about comics. I never forget, like, going into Jeppy's back in the day and getting Question, I think it was like number 17 or something. And I'm like, I'm going to try this. One of my boys had told me, like, you need to read the Question. And I'm like, you know how I do, man. If you tell me to read it, if you get it for me, I'm not going to read it. So, I had to go in and get it. And then I bought it. So I read it. And therefore, I love it.
Dickhead.
That note, you've been listening to 3 dickheads doing dickhead things. All right, so that's Omar with 3 O'Clock High. So yeah, that's it. So we'd like to thank you for listening to us. 3 dickheads for dickhead things. And Chris, what do you got to say to the people?
Well, people, as of this recording, this will be Mother's Day 2026. And for those of you that are still fortunate enough and lucky enough to have your mother be a presence in your life, whether positive or negative, that's up to you. That's your business. I'm not here to judge. I highly encourage you to reach out to your maternal figure and just tell them that you appreciate the job they did. Just let them know that you care. Let them know that you give a damn. Let them know that their work was not wasted and that you are not a complete piece of garbage. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers. Take care. Spike your hair.
Peace.
I can't spike my hair, which makes me sad.
Go. Go. Bald nigga, bald nigga, bald. Head look like a bowling ball. Head look like